Hi all, and welcome back to my channel of an everyday life of an Aspie. If you're new to my channel, I'm Aspie. I'm all about creating mental health and awareness and sharing my life story with Asperger's syndrome and the like. And hopefully in saying this, the tips and advice with your general health versus your mental health. I also do some fun and games along the way, and I'm hoping that I will bring some more tears later on in the piece, but I just wanted to focus on some of my pertinent matters because, as you know, I want to mentor and advocate for people on the spectrum, and hopefully we can gain a better understanding with the mentoring and educating with you all based on my aims and goals that I've shared with you when I very first started the channel a few years back. So it's been brought to my attention, as I said before, that while I've been at this conference that was on Monday just gone of this 6th of March maybe 2018, someone can check the date if I'm wrong by commenting below, that I went to a conference or meeting that's for the community here where I am in the Manawatu to help with people on the spectrum, teachers, educators and the like, to come together, share their stories and obviously share out what's actually happening with these everyday changes, which I did briefly share with you all based on this, what's going on obviously in the community, as well as the ever-growing changes that is actually happening, not just in my community, but on the outer community all around New Zealand. So for starters, before I begin this, as I said, with the services that I'm going to entail, some of them will be only in my local area of what I've researched, but there are many more kind of community network support networks out there in New Zealand. If you're from New Zealand, I'll link some of them in the description below of the ones I've shared in this video at least, so that you can, you know, find more information for yourself and whatnot, which I'm hoping will be a useful tool for you all, regardless of who it is that's needing it, be it a carer, teacher, what have you. And I'll bring out more of the important stuff also that was addressed in that conference meeting that's just been gone, hopefully broken down to an extra 2 series maybe roughly. So if you're into some of these right now, feel free to, you know, join me on my channel by just either following me on my social media handles that are listed in the description below, or if you want to be on the bandwagon as my family, feel free to subscribe and also turn on the notification bell to keep up to date, because as I said, my schedule usually is on a weekly Monday to Friday, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday, depending how I feel and all that, and how my body feels when it comes down to hopefully giving you guys a bit of fun and adventures and whatnot. So let's begin this. As you know, in the first part, if you haven't seen it already, of what I've shared in this conference, I talked briefly about Altogether Autism and briefly one of the services that they provide, which is Prism, which if you haven't seen it, I said I'll link it in the description and put it on hopefully in the iBar above me, so that you can actually watch that, so you can get a better basics of understanding here. So another service that Altogether Autism provides is parent-to-parent kind of organisation, and this is obviously service that is obviously for throughout New Zealand, with 11 branches that are operating nationwide. And as I said before, that there is a new service coordinator here in the Manawatu that's taking over, and her name was, I think from memory, Janine Malborough. I could be wrong, but I'll double check on the actual page for you if you're in the Manawatu and you've got a child that's autistic and want to reach out to her or some other organisations that they run through. They often, you know, basically here to inform, educate and support you as a carer parent through your life, navigating through your family experiences with this disability. Their services includes also, as I mentioned, Altogether Autism and care minutes that are all free and confidential. Now, basically, with parent-to-parent, they obviously have been creating new support networks around New Zealand that connects new families with specially trained volunteer support crew and parents who have a family member with the same or similar disability to that child or to your own child. Support Parents is known for offering a listening ear. They understand the everyday challenges that you face and the unique joy of caring for a child or family member that is in a similar situation to yours. And you can share your experiences with them and offer practical solutions between you. Obviously, the part of the work also in understanding for parent to parent in New Zealand basically is a core part of work that they do revolving around providing the latest research and information about your family members' conditions so that you're equipped with the power of the knowledge. Because as they say, knowledge is power, obviously, and what we do with that knowledge obviously is up to us, hearsay. The dedicated research team provides free information to families and those involved in family care, only nearly 4,000 conditions from the very rare to the more common. All information that they provide is specifically tailored to your unique situation, and they can actually give you the information that you request, be it, you know, specific medical research to behavioural issues and anything in between. There are training and workshops that they provide basically around the country for new parents looking to support other parents, and also advocacy and navigating through the system. Obviously, we need that in our everyday lives. Also, they've got basically supporting siblings, obviously. They've obviously got their own family environment. Parent to Parent offers 2 programs in this, and has a wide range of events that come. So the 2 of them are as follows: SIB camps for children ages 8 to 18 and SIB shops for 8 to 18. SIB camps is obviously a camp that is held over certain weekends and are based around outdoor activities, you know, fun and games. SIB shop is a vibrant one-day event packed with interactive games and activities facilitated by people themselves that has a sibling with a disability. Now, and the next few ones that I want to bring out is Options Palmerston that I was under. If you've seen one of my videos, I did one based on Options, I think, from memory in a Christmas video 2 years back while I went up to. And I did give you briefly, if you haven't seen it, what they do, but I'll bring it out again on this one just to tidy it up. They provide a whole range of different services, basically supported living, transition services, coaching assistance, community linking, support and employment. For the supported living, obviously, that's just a no-brainer. Individual supported living to support the individual to live in their home or in the community-based facilities that they may have of certain residential home cares, if they do. Transitional services are helping students to think about life after school. Coaching assistance is basically just to make wanted and desired life changes in their life, regardless where they're at in their life, be it, you know, adult, teen, just come out of school and whatnot. Community linking is support to get involved in the community, and supportive employment is just a person-centered approach to assisting people to obtain and retain employment. With the community linking also, though, underneath that I forgot to add is to be involved in the community activities, organisations, events, and develop hopefully new social connections in that peer group. Next on the list is Workbridge Manawatu or Palmerston North. This service is free. They link their main goal here is linking the right people to the right jobs. It's a specialist employment service that gives employers access to a wide talent pool of people with disability, injury or illness. Their people basically obviously have a governance and a senior management team that are structured by and led by disabled people. They have a council board and senior management. Autism New Zealand. Many people may not like Autism New Zealand or something. I've heard a few stories of this, but I might share out my opinions on some of these, with what I heard or what have you later on in the piece. If you want to hear more, let me know in the description. Autism New Zealand is supposed to provide support, training, advocacy, resources of information on the autism spectrum disorder, including Asperger's syndrome. The members include children, young adults, and adults on the spectrum. Their vision is empowering people with autism. Funding. What they do here is they fully rely on basically donations, obviously, and activities that is run through various grants from charitable trusts, as well as contracts from governmental departments like Ministry of Health and the like for specific programs to rely, obviously, solely on donations as well. Next on the list is MASH Trust. This, in the Manawatu where I am, a wide range of support services for people with mental health, intellectual disabilities, or illness. That's what they do. These services that they provide obviously are offered through basically their own homes or in the community. So first and foremost, it's the mental health and addiction. This covers the Mid-Central and Hawke's Bay region. Programs that are provided has been developed on recovery principles, obviously, because obviously many people have addictions or mental health issues or what have you. In this, they include residential care, supported living, specialist support, vocational support, and social housing. They also lobby and advocate for the human rights of all people with intellectual disabilities at community, national, and international levels. They raise funds and awareness of issues that intellectual disabilities face through charitable activities, advocacy programs, social media, and more. Which obviously this also comes under for basically CCS Action, also of their aims and goals. Levels of care, obviously, for people in the mental health sector, and that will vary from person to person, as I said before, obviously. And the facts and effects, they cover from facts and effects, I should say, community support groups, one-to-one peer, interaction if they want one-to-one action, community programs, and residential programs. The mental health community or support in the community, this service is, provided basically as a community base that promotes independency, growth, and recovery in mental health. This also hopefully provides individual support that actively encourages to develop skills in the new set skills that is given and reach out to the identified goals. Residential support accommodation, however, this is a community-based housing with support staff available depending on the level of everyday needs. Physical intellectual disability services, support accommodation for people with physical and intellectual disabilities. LUC, which stands for love, understanding, caring, knowledge, or shall I say kindness, I should say. This is a drop-in centre for people with mental health illness or have experienced it to come and have a new cuppa, meet new people and do some activities that they have. Sometimes they also have lunches through the week. Basically, I think there is only once, twice a week. Don't correct me on this. If someone is in the area that works here, basically let me know and actually put it in the description or in the comment section below. And usually they rely on donations. And also in there where I went in there for a time when I was meeting new people with mental health a few years back while I was living here, basically they've got an area where they can do games, like board games, darts. There's this section subdivided for people wanting to browse through the internet or sit on the computer, and other areas just to help people. Child and youth crisis respite care. Obviously, they've got a specialised house, Te Mātai House, for respite care for people between 5 to 19 years of age, basically, in this area. And, yeah, ID services, or I think now they're known as IHC for most, people around New Zealand, is like, well, what they're about is they advocate for the rights and inclusion and welfare for all people with intellectual disabilities and support them to satisfying lives in the community and hopefully feel accepted and included in the community, like most services should be all about, with people with different needs, be it intellectual, mental health, status frame, or what have you, I believe. The services that include are residential care, supported living, specialist support, vocational support, and social housing. They also, as I said, lobby and advocate for the human rights of all people with intellectual disabilities at community, national, and international levels. They raise funds and awareness of issues that evolves around intellectual disability that they face through, charitable activities, advocacy programs, social medias, and the like. Right, CCS Disability Action. Their vision is to see every disabled person included in the life of their family and communities, as well as providing direct support and advocacy to make them again feel included. About them, they're a nationwide organisation in New Zealand that provides support, advocacy and information for people with disability. They have a long, proud history of working in partnership with disabled people and families to provide dedicated and flexible support services in partnership with, obviously, the community and other support networks or support organisations that I may have briefly mentioned. Last but not least is, hopefully, Enabled New Zealand. What they do is, obviously, this is a division of Mid Central District Health Board that provides disability DHB contracts with their services in New Zealand. The services will include Children's Spectacles Subsidy, Disability Information and Advisory. 3 is Equipment for Disabled People. 4, Hearing aid funding and subsidy, I should say. 6 is Housing Modifications for Disabled People. 7, Needs Assessment and Services Coordination. And 9 or 8, whatever, Vehicle Modifications for Disabled People. So this basically quickly ends a brief overview of what I can think of some of the support networks around the Manawatu and the Lower North Island, as including their services. Smash the like button, comment below if you are in the Manawatu region like me and have access to these services or the organisations you may have heard of. If you haven't heard of them, you know, as I said, I'll be linking all their information below in the description box, so if you want to know more, feel free to do so. If you want to, share these videos around to family and friends, because as I said, I know there will be some people that will hope to actually want to gain access and what have you with this. So enough further ado, guys. Thanks for support, thanks for watching, do what you love what you do. Until next time, Aspie signing out, and I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.